You are really witty, and I mean, it's like incredibly witty and funny. And that is a really God-given talent, and I think you're so funny. And and you're not, whatever the word is, you're not self-conscious about it. It's just very real and it flows. And, I think you really like pushing buttons and being provocative. And it's like you got some kind of little elf in there that tells you, come on, let's see how many people we can really piss off today. Don't you have that?
Well, it's an honor coming from you, but yeah, I think I've always had a little bit of wit, but now that we live in this like morality police, but not moral like religious, moral like we all need to be nice, I always want to push that. Why do I have to wrap my speech in a sort of way that has to be comforting for these freaks with purple hair or people that want to call themselves a rainbow unicorn for their gender? Yeah, I like provoking those sort of weirdos. I love pushing the envelope, and I think in 2022, the sort of counterculture and the punk rock uh, uh, culture is more on the side of people who do push the boundaries with their speech more so than what's mainstream, which is to just pretend to be nice and
Hmm.
cool girl. No, I don't want to be that. I want to be the
Yeah.
mean person.
Yeah. I think it's like that smiley face Hitler thing. Have you seen that thing? It's like, it's that smiley face, but it also has that little tiny mustache. That,
I haven't
you know what
seen
I
it.
mean? That,
Yeah, the meme.
yeah, the meme. I always forget that word. But yeah, it's kind of the smiley face Hitler thing. It's like, oh, but you will. You will accept that, won't you?
Yeah,
Isn't it this big scary monster, though, that thing, whatever it is, and why it tries to put its boot right down on our face? Why does it want to do that so bad? God.
they're just ruining everything, and they're ruining humor, but by the same time, humor I think is the one thing that can kind of cut through this, because when you're telling a joke or you're making a witty remark, if people are laughing, then they're basically acknowledging the fact that what you're saying is sort of true.
Hmm.
And so humor, I feel like, is the one way to really push back against this boot.
That's what I think too, and that's why I say, well, we've got to be funnier than we've ever been before. We've got to get funnier than we've ever dared get funny before. And what do you think would be the funniest thing you could do? Well, I mean, you've done a lot of funny things. As far as like, if you're going to take funny to the political realm, it would be to get a laugh while you're like totally resisting the force-fed narrative, the MK Ultra force-fed pre-packaged narrative that everybody, oh my God, they just, well, that's how it is, and I acknowledge it. And they haven't read a page, haven't read a damn page.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
think
And they're consenting, and they don't even know what they're consenting to.
they have no idea. No. And everybody just signs up for, I think everybody in America always has just gone with whatever's mainstream, but we've gotten to a point where mainstream is literal authoritarianism, shutting people's speech down and becoming very homogenous instead of individualistic, which we used to uplift in America. So yeah, people are signing up for this when they have no idea what the end goal of this narrative is.
Well, it's awfully frightening, that's for damn sure. I mean, look at me. Take my case. Uh, I was the only working class voice or presence on all of television. And unlike Whoopi Goldberg, whose comment was far
Worse.
more repulsive, possibly the most repulsive thing ever said anywhere, in my opinion. She gets a 2-week vacation by ABC, as did, I forget his name, the guy with the 10,000 pro-pedophile tweets. They took him back. It's such an insult. And they didn't even understand my tweet that it was about Iran and the Iran deal. And they totally mutilated it on purpose and knew they were lying the whole time.
I want to hear more about what happened with you because I've read about it and you're just an absolute icon, and exactly like you said, you were the voice for the working class and so many people resonated with you. A question I have for you is, do you feel as though they were like, before that incident happened, were they already trying to take you down and they just used that to usher your takedown all the way through? Had they already been going out for you?
Oh yeah, first I couldn't, first I couldn't figure out why they even would want me back for what they did to me. I mean, which they could have given me a 2-week or even a 6-week vacation with an apology, because I had an apology, which was the truth. But they couldn't let that be heard. They couldn't allow me to even explain what I meant. That was denied to me. And, I had broken records, and I was widely perceived as America's mom and have been for like 30 some years. I never walked down the street without people coming to me and telling me they feel I was their mother. So instead of giving me a vacation, after numerous apologies, they just simply killed my character with a drug overdose and like laughed it off as they confiscated my life's work for what they considered to be a fucking stupid tweet that makes no sense. And the way they interpret it is so racist. It's just frightening that they would think the way they think. But I think that anyway, all that stuff was just because they had to do something to get rid of any mention of class on television. And I remained and always had been known for that. So they had to invite me back to get rid of me. And they really monitored me. Every step that I took, they monitored me. They tried to double cross me, triple cross me every step I took. But I kept on going strong because I believe in God, so I just turned it over to God and go clear the way so he would, I didn't have to do much but show up and work. And they try to work me to death, man. All of it free, off the clock, of course, traveling. They beat an old bitch down, excuse me, to use things we say with our friends. Because I had to go on that fucking Ambien to stay awake. I didn't know what time zone I was in, working for free for Disney there. And they couldn't throw me under the bus fast enough. So for me to figure out why they did that, why they canceled my number one show, record-breaking number one show, which was praised everywhere for being, a whole new take in the civil rights movement on television, why they would want to take that down. Well, they took that and fired me. It was my story, but by false pretense too. But you can't sue them. You can't sue
They,
nobody in America anymore. Did you know that?
no, the court is on the other side at this point.
There isn't no court. That's what's so funny. If people really knew how shit works, it's like, okay, well, grease this palm. It's all by graft, ain't it? Every bit. Isn't it just like the Bible says it'll be? Let's be real for 1 minute. Isn't it just like that?
Yeah, exactly.
Whoa.
And just a note on your show, yeah, I think exactly what you said. They have so much distaste for middle America and the working class, and you are and were that voice for all the middle of the country. And entertainment used, or how I perceived it, it used to be, Hollywood and New York creating content for the middle of the country, and
Right.
now it seems as though they're jerking each other off,
Yeah.
creating content for themselves and not to entertain and resonate with the majority of the country, which is middle America.
Yeah. That's what I said a long time ago. I go, Christ, look at them marginalizing the vast middle. That's what a bunch of fucking screwball, idiot, backward toads they are, that they would marginalize their own fucking future. For what? And you know what it is just to be able to be on the take, just to be able to take the money first off the first cut, like a regular cartel dude would, Nothing to do with liberty or pay, but it's all about labor. It's all about, you don't have to pay people for the work you get out of them. That's what it's all about, nothing but. If it's all about class, it's all about labor and nothing else. And, that's where I always, everybody knows that. Everybody with half a damn brain knows that. Dang.
Right. Crazy with what's going on. I heard you're in LA still. I'm in LA, and it's sad how much kind of the industry has changed. Used to be so iconic, and now it's just kind of going down the tubes, if not already gone down the tubes.
Well, it's going in a different direction. I think it'll reinvent itself, but it's going to be hard because when you marginalize the middle, I don't know who the hell you're talking to, and also you marginalize the common humor. You marginalize common sense too. You marginalize anything that we have in common when you fucking marginalize the vast middle for the two radical edges that nobody gives a shit about. You're putting yourself out of fucking business right from the start. They got that kind of mentality because they want that short term cut off the top because they know they ain't selling anything good that's going to last. And they know the whole world's going to blow up because on the other side, they're all invested in the fucking world blowing up. And I'm not bullshitting you. They're invested in there being a goddamn war, a war of Armageddon with real lives, real planes, real bombs. They got a payoff coming, and if that don't happen, it's going to be bad news for the world, supposedly. That's the kind of planning they've got for humanity, for crying out loud. How stupid
Right.
are we? Tell me how stupid we are, honestly. Can we be any more stupid than we are?
No. No. And everybody's just signed up for it. Pretty crazy. Um, when we say they, like, what do you think that exactly means? Who are they? Do you just mean sort of like elitist? Because that's what I mean. I think it's
Yeah, I think I've been through this. I got to cover up my fat roll. It's sneaking through. Um, well, the owners of the world is what I mean. The people who pull the strings of all the people who go out and do the business of pulling those strings, and that's to shut a lot of people up, move a lot of people around, sell a lot of weapons, keep that going. The people who rule the world, and they they show their face all the time. That's what's funny, is they show their face. A lot of them, though, we've never seen. The guys, I guess, who got the real power, we never seen them,
right.
right?
Yeah.
But we know the mentality anyway, because they say you're not fighting against people, you're fighting against principalities, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's seems like that more and more every day.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
I like that you're out there pushing the buttons of people who like to lock us all down into some kind of Stalinist gulag shit that they can throw people that don't agree with the fucking narrative, that they can do that to art and artists. That's what fucking pisses me off. Trying to kill comedy. What the hell?
Like that's been our one great sort of unifier throughout the years is that we can all kind of like put our grievances aside and laugh at good jokes, and now we're not even allowed to crack really funny jokes. And what pisses me off
Right?
is I have some comedian friends who bow down to this sort of totalitarianism and they change their jokes. It's because of people refusing to stand up and continue pushing the boundaries that we are crushed more and more by authoritarianism. If the comedians stood up, if artists stood up, continued creating art, but now we see that art's just a bunch of nonsense because artists aren't really allowed to express themselves, and the only art that's uplifted is crappy art that the regime sort of pushes. It's gross.
It's so like Germany, like pre-war Germany, in the 30s. That was like they were censoring art everywhere. You had to do art that wasn't infected. They use largely the same words that they're using now on campus to describe something that they can't argue with. That's what I figure it's about.
Yeah, yeah. They don't want a light to be shown on what they're doing, and art shows exactly that.
Yeah, you're very brave to be taking that on. And first of all, to even have the mentality to understand that that's happening, congratulations. What the hell? Was that hard being a smart kid like that? Be honest. Was that
Uh,
hard?
Sometimes I wish I was just stupid and didn't know what was going on and just went. So yeah, it's hard and it makes me nervous, but someone has to do it. So I'm trying to do my part.
Well, was that always there, even as a younger kid? Were you like, or did you have that feeling like I got to be the one to do it? I guess that feeling I'm talking about. Of course you do. You're living it. The one where you're like, I guess I got to be the witness. I've got to be the witness that does it. I got to be the one that steps forward and takes the chance and puts it on the line to tell the people the truth, as the best of my knowledge, for like a deeply spiritual reason about saving people's lives. It's that important.
It's super important. I think like one day I was just doing it. I just stepped into the role. I didn't know that this is where the world would be. This isn't
Hmm.
what I imagined when I was young, and it makes me sad because I feel like my aspirations and things that I wanted to do are kind of more so out of reach at this point, or they're just it's not the world's just changed a lot.
Hmm.
So I've just I do what I can, and I hope I'm making an impact.
I think you are, because I look at you and I'm like, now you must know this. Don't take this wrong. But my God, you are just a very handsome young person, male man. Uh, you know, young man. You're
I'm
very, very good looking. I thought, oh my God, this guy is, I don't be insulted, movie star. I said, this guy's a movie star. You could, like, seriously, you have movie star looks. And,
oh
the presence too, to be a movie star. So I hope that that's what happens, like that people see you enough and, oh my God, wait, I forgot to turn this off.
no, you're good. You're good. I do it all the
Oh
time.
my
You
God,
know,
can you believe it?
no, I do it all
Oh, I'm so sorry.
the
Now
time. Don't
I
be.
forget how to do it. I have like so many mental problems with this shit. Everything, like, all my friends go, every time you're here, nobody's phone ever works. I like put out some kind of a ray from like something I guess one of the metal hinges I have in places in my body that messes with people's phones. So I'm so sorry. Please forgive
No,
me.
that's funny. Don't even apologize. It's so I'm thank you for saying that. I think like another interesting thing we see in LA is a lot of these new figures don't have any star power and they're not well received by the public. And then
Hmm.
sometimes, occasionally, some come along that are a little bit more provocative, maybe myself, maybe other people, and they are like it very much you can see the difference in I don't know, receivability from the public. So I think a lot of people find me entertaining and hopefully that carries me far.
Yes, you are very entertaining, and part of that's a good thing too, because I don't think, first of all, that I would get that tired of looking at you. But, even a good thing can go wrong after a long time. So it is a good thing that there's something to watch besides your gorgeosity. And then out comes your wit to keep you occupied from just staring in amazement at the just incredible beauty that you possess as a human being on your face.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Thank you so much for coming and talking to me today. And let's talk again. Is there any last moment kind of ideas you want to float out there?
I would just say one of our biggest battles going on right now is the loss of individuality. So for anyone listening, don't bow down to the woke worship of false idols, which is a kind of killing your individuality and becoming a part of the mob. Be yourself, stand up for the truth, stand up for what you believe in, bring your own perspectives, come up with your own opinions, and that's how we take our culture back, I think.
And we have to have them based on fact. Don't forget
Yeah.
that. They can't be based on opinion. They got to be based on law, right? They have to be our law. We have to be a law-based republic, right? We can't just be a feely little nation that does what they want at any particular time, including when they get in a real bad mood at each other and they just break whatever law they think they don't have to obey. What a racket this all is.
That would be horrible. And that's kind of what we're experiencing now. A lot of people base their opinions off false information. So yeah, we need to bring truth to everything that we believe and continue on in that sort of way.
Well, good luck to you, and have all my um, uh, fan idisness, fanness, my being a
Well, thank
fan.
you.
I'll
I'm a
continue to
big
watch
fan of
you.
you.
I
Thank
think
you.
you're a brave and provocative entertainer. I like the things you say because they are completely explosive and provocative, and we need more, not less of that. Thank you for risking
Absolutely.
it.
It's an honor to do it every single day. I will continue to do it.
You
Thank
do
you so
that.
much for having me.
Okay. At ease, man.
Bye.
Bye.